screen. Uh, and then you should be able to see my screen that I'm sharing to PBE. Oh, of course it's fucking freaking out right now. Why is it doing that? Stop. 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 Is it freaking out for you guys too? Why is it doing that? What's it doing? Stop. Stop. Stop doing that. When did Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Garen, can you hear anybody else in the off my computer chat, or is it not casting my Discord? Oh, lovely. Okay, guys. So they can't hear you in the Discord chat, and I'm trying to figure that out. So give me a second. Yeah, sorry, my audio is always weird, so yeah. I know I keep muting my mic on stream, which hi, sorry, this is gonna sound really weird. But I'm talking to them in Discord trying to get them going. Let's try that. Can one of you guys talk and see if it works?
Hello, hello.
Can one of you
Can
guys talk
anybody
and see if
hear
it
me out
works?
there?
No,
Hello, hello. Can anybody
it's
hear me out there?
still not working.
Hello, hello. Oh no.
I know. This always happens.
Hello, hello.
I know. This always happens.
Hello, hello.
I know.
Well, I can hear it. Sounds like echoey.
No,
Oh,
can you hear yourself, or can you hear
I can
me?
hear it in stream.
Oh, okay. Or can you hear
I
me?
can hear
Never
it in
mind.
stream.
Oh, okay. Or can you hear
I can
me?
hear
Never
it in
mind.
stream.
Oh, okay. Or can you hear
For what?
me? Never mind. Oh, okay. Or can you hear me? Never
oh,
mind.
now it's just rebounding.
I'll be
Okay.
back
Or
maybe.
can you hear me? Never mind.
Oh, now it's just rebounding.
I'll be back maybe.
Oh, this is great. I love this stuff. That's so good. Okay, let's try this. Let's close the mic off. Mic off. Mic off. Mic off.
Testing 1 2.
Mic off.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. So
I think we could meet ourselves, and then you can just go. And if anything, you have. we'll sort it out as we go. It's okay. It's okay. We'll sort it out.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk here. I'm gonna mute myself on Discord. Okay, so I can't seem to get Discord working on here, but I'm here. So hi, I'm SD Core. I know you guys can hear me, which is good. I think you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, so I might be doing this solo because um, I can't really figure out why my mic's rebounding when I add anybody else in. No, unfortunately, they cannot. Okay, give me 2 seconds and I'll get everything running. It might be. Okay, let's go ahead and start the S24 minors draft. Oh wait, I may have figured it out. Hold on. Enoch, can you talk? I think I figured it out.
Two, 1 2, 1 2. I have the stream. Oh hey, there I am. I'm not echoing.
And we're not echoing, right?
Hey.
Woo!
Woo!
We did it, guys.
I
Nice.
think we figured it out.
Okay. Yay. All right. We smart. Okay.
This
All
took
right.
way too long, but we figured it out.
I apologize to everybody. This is all right.
Sorry, I was like, I'm sitting here sweating, like, oh my God, I can't figure this out. What did I do? I had my audio turned on, so it was echoing off of my own computer. Okay, so let's try this again. So I'm SD Core. I guess I'm hosting. I'm the one who can't figure out my life. Um, yeah, and everyone else introduce yourself that's here.
I'm Enoch. I am the GM of the Kansas City Hepcats, and yeah, so that's what I'm here for. Go ahead, Jabs.
Yeah, and I'm Jabs. I'm GM alongside Danny B for the brand new expansion Brew City Bears.
Which I have to say, you know me, I love. I love the fact that there's beer involved in the PBE. So yes.
Thanks. Yeah, we've got a lot of positive feedback from the branding, and excited to finally add some active players today.
Cool. All right. So now that we're going, do you guys want to start this draft here real quick? I guess
Yeah,
Jabs,
let's.
you're first. So
Yes, so I'm very happy and proud to announce that the first overall pick for the season 24 minors draft, the Brew City Bears select left fielder Sender Klukas of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we were very, very excited to make this pick. Obviously, starting out a new team, it felt great to have the number one overall pick in the draft. Sender is doing great in PBE so far. He's very active on Discord, which is extremely important to us. He's right at the top of the TPE leaderboard. And he's also putting out a lot of great media. I think he's written 5 articles totaling about 6,000 words so far, which honestly makes for a great income and a lot of engagement with the site. Personally, he's got management experience, so if he really takes to the experience, this might be a future War Room member. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so it makes for a great storyline. We really want to nail this pick, and I think we did. So, welcome Sender to Milwaukee.
Yeah, congrats, buddy.
yeah,
I
congrats.
know. I know. I've spoken with Alexander in the past, and he just seems so excited by with the league, and as of this, I mean, you could see the activity on the forum. I mean, as of this morning, he had 32 posts, and already 19 mil in the bank already from all the stuff that he's done. It's absolutely amazing. So congratulations, buddy.
I also have to say a little selfishly, he's on my SMJHL team. We just added him as a undrafted free agent. So I love this pick, and I was really, really jealous when you picked him. So good job.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely deserving of going number one.
My audio is low. I might be too far away from my mic. This mic tends to be a little bit lower, so I'll try to get a little bit closer. So sorry about that.
Cool. And we're gonna move on and to the second pick, which is the other team, the Lemurs. I should know where they're from, but my brain is escaping me because of this morning.
Louisville.
Louisville, that's right. Louisville Lemurs. They alliterate. Sweet. Let's go ahead and get into their pick. So with the second selection, the Louisville Lemurs are going to select, come on, Ruben Ramirez, which is Wombat. So
And
I don't know if we
it-
really need to say too much about Wombat because I think anybody who's been in this league for a while knows Wombat. Wombat's a great user, really, really knowledgeable with OOTP and all those things. So I think that's a smart pick for a new franchise.
yeah, and if you know who's running this team, then this will be kind of obvious who this was going to be. Like this has been marked off on boards since since Mitch and
Yeah,
Davey
I
got
guess
this.
that's true, right?
Yeah, yeah, this has been marked off for a while.
Um,
But congratulations nonetheless. So, uh,
yeah, congrats, Wombat. You don't deserve it. Okay, and the third pick is the Hep Kitties.
Mike, do you want to do the honors?
Sure thing. With the third pick, the Kansas City Hepcats select user Tonesy. I believe this is Maverick Smoltz. I think.
Yes.
I think
Maverick
uh,
Smoltz.
Smoltz, starting pitcher, and basically we had two targets here at the top of the board at pick 3. The guy who went number 1, we had Alexander at basically like 1A and 1B with he and Tonesy. I didn't really. It's like, well, we know Wombat is going to Louisville at 2. So what do we get out of Alexander and Tonesy? I don't really care. personally, I'm glad we got the pitcher here. And Tonzi had a fantastic conversation with him, guy who played baseball in real life for a very long time. So that's kind of cool to have that come into, and I'm convinced that he will be a great user for us and continue the great Hebcat pitching. That although it's not that long, hopefully the recent history with the likes of myself and Dogwood, Mark Murley, I think Kiwi's going to be a good pitcher down the road. You're going to have a lot of really, really good people coming down the pipeline here, and I think Tonesy's another example. I don't want. I mean, I part of me is like I kind of wish I didn't have Tonesy, right? Because then I certainly wouldn't have the third pick in this year's draft. But well, at least if I'm going to be third, might as well get a really good guy out of it.
Ah, that old thing. Oh yeah, we got him. That also means we didn't have such a great season.
Yeah.
That mean we stunk.
But yeah, I mean, Tonzi's great. He was my GM in ISFL for Tijuana, and I've known him for a while. The only knock against him, I guess, is that he microwaves salads. So there's that.
Huh? Weird.
I read that before. I wasn't sure who were you referring to, and then I have to ask about that later. Then
You'll have to ask him. It's a long
I,
running joke.
I'm very curious now. So okay, I guess we can move on to pick number 4.
Yeah.
And at number 4, I guess I can announce it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, oh no, hang on. Yeah. Uh, at number 4, the Wheelers select Buster Baxter. User Zane. Is that how you say it?
I
I
think.
don't want to.
Zanezik?
Zanezik. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot their note because I am an idiot. I pasted everybody but theirs. I apologize.
Oh
Oh.
man.
Oh no, I know. I'm awful. I know. I apologize, Curran. I'm pretty sure you sent this to me. Wait, did you send it to me? Oh, maybe you didn't.
Zane is Zane, and he's a Zane, and he's Zane. There you go. I think we summed it up.
And
Maybe
look,
he
I
didn't.
mean,
I
the
apologize.
Wheelers need arms. Well, they need kind of
They need kind of
everything.
everything.
Although magically getting Franco back is
And
going to
Fisher.
help them. And they got Fisher back too. Oh,
Yes.
joy. Them getting Fisher and Franco back when originally they weren't going to have them is going to help them out a lot.
Yeah, I mean they need some people. Getting Fisher back's huge. So we'll see. I mean, it's the minors, so couple good players, couple good rookies, a couple returning bats. You could change things in a minute. Okay. I guess we'll go on to the next pick, which is going to be Kingston's pick. Um, and with the 5th pick, the Kingston Mounties, such a weird name, pick. Come on, computer. Tom Riddle, which is CMAC, who is CMAC. He's a GM in the league. He's been here for a long time. Plus, I mean, he's Lord Voldemort. So there is that. That's a big thing.
And a knuckleballer.
He is a knuckleballer, which is crazy because we
So
don't have very many of them left.
We don't have any.
I was gonna
Really?
say
We don't have
might
any.
be the one.
Yeah. Dren and Emmy switched out of it this past
Oh,
season. So
I didn't know that.
active one. No, there isn't. No, there are no knuckleballers. So he will be the only one in the league.
And they did send, I think, probably. Oh my God, my mind's going blank. Diesel probably sent draft notes on this, huh? So yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll go ahead and read it. They have to say, after a bad string last season, we really need to jump in early on a new starting pitcher. CMAC is a recreate who is the GM for the Raptors, so we're pretty confident he'll be super active. I also thought it stuck out that he was a knuckler, and for me, it's the first time I've seen one since I started GMing, so I assume this is actually what's his name that sent the notes?
Oh, Jimbo sent a note.
Jimbo sent the notes, yeah. Asking around about them, people seem to think the Knucklers are low tier, but I think that C-Mac has some tricks up his sleeve, and he's going to show Knucklers are still a threat.
It'll be interesting. I don't think we had a knuckleballer since the going through the minors since what you might call it since the arc change. I don't think. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he fares and how the build actually would work in the next few seasons. I can't say I've tested it that much since
Yeah,
there's nobody creating it. So
I don't really look at the pitcher builds too much. I've never really been a huge pitcher guy. I've always kind of I knew the old builds better, but since the change, I don't know them that well. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, if he can make it work, he's a really well-known person, good user, and if it works for him, we might see some copycats out there trying to do the same thing, and that would just, I think, be good for the league. So cool.
yeah,
Moving on
definitely.
to the sixth pick, which I'm going to let you guys announce because you are the GMs.
Mike, you want to go for it
Yeah,
and what we did?
So pick 6 originally belongs to the Swift Steeds of State College, but we had 4 seconds originally. You see that we only have 2 and the Swifties have 3. Well, the reason for that is we packaged off 13 and 18 to get pick number 6 because State College is in desperate need of some dudes. We are in more need for quality. So I was like, absolutely. The negotiation with Beaver wasn't that long, and we got the deal done. And the guy that we selected was our primary target. We were praying something crazy would happen and we get him at 12. But when I saw the opportunity to move up and get this person, there was no doubt that we were going to take Vladimir Batista, aka Exiliate, guy I know from being around in Cancun, and a guy who's going to be very active in our locker room, and our locker room culture is a big thing here. So yeah, him coming to Kansas City is going to be a great thing for the organization, not just from a player perspective. We did lose a bit of our infield this year. We almost lost one, but he's going to come back, and we lost Sam Andros, and then traded um, Cesar Suave later on in this draft. So um, had the hole in the left side of the infield, and he should be able to fill it well here. So Exiliates pick number 6. Very happy to bring him to Kansas City.
Yeah, he was in the original draft class with me in season 14. We were drafted by the Voyagers. Me, Stevart, and Exiliate, and Camden Good was his original player, and I always thought that we could have been like that big three trio growing up in New York, but unfortunately that didn't quite happen. He still had a relatively long career, but I am very glad that he has recreated, and we did need that shortstop position filled, and so hopefully. And I know he's very active in Discord, and I'm really glad that we were able to get him.
Yeah, Exil's interesting to me because it's definitely a guy who's been around for a while that I never really got to interact with. And he's in the Cancun locker room, which I just got into kind of. And talking to him the last couple of days has been really, really awesome. Good user. Someone who definitely like I wish I knew earlier. So that's cool. It's always cool to kind of run into people who've been around. You're like, oh, all right, I get it. Cool, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right.
All right, and now
And
we're
okay.
into the seventh pick, which is owned by Dallas, and we're actually going to bring the one of the GM Simo into the chat. He's going to announce the pick, so I think he's here, and let's let him do his thing. What's up, Simo?
Hey, how's it going? I was not prepared to announce a pick. I've got to find what the player's name is.
Oh, come on. Okay,
Come on, you you
I,
asked
just-
for it.
you
You
had to
asked
know I
come
was going
on.
to put you on the spot there.
Oh, I was just here to chat about it. But yeah, so the 7th pick, Dallas Dynamos select Todd Hafner, user Southpaw. Yeah, I mean, well, a bit of a story to this one too. So I had, well, a few seasons ago in the ISFL, I was in one of the teams there in the development league and in the war room, and Southpaw was one of our players who we ended up trading away. And then since then they've become a GM of one of the other teams, and just like watching that team and how they've just grown every season under Southpaw. Like the moment they created here, I was just like, I have to grab this person.
No,
Like,
that didn't happen once. I never heard his name.
and I mean, well, I don't know how much I was putting this chat in the war room when it first started, but as soon as he created, I messaged Jabs at Brew City, and I messaged both the Lemurs GMs and was like, I'll give you this, my 7th here and my first next season, like as my first offer for like moving up, because I want to get just straight to the top of the draft, and I'll sell the house and I just want South.
I definitely remember being in the Dallas War Room, like the second South created, Simo was like on us. He's like, we have to get this guy. I don't care, sell the farm. We have to get South. So I'm glad we got him, obviously.
And so, well, and then talking to Jabs, because when they were like, oh no, we like new franchise, we want to make the first ever pick. And I was like, that makes sense. So I was like, well, I'll ask who they're after. And they're like, oh, probably Alexander, but it's not set. So I was like, okay, well, if they go there, that's not South. I'll keep going. Lemurs were set on Wombat. So I was like, yep, I'm fine with that. That's not South. So I messaged Enoch. I was like, mate, I need to do a trade to get to the top of this draft. And then I think I would have.
Did I just flat out deny you?
Didn't happen.
I just like no.
Anyway, so I mean, Enoch gets messages about every second day of me, like when he's asleep. It's like, mate, we need a trade. Like, I need to do this. And then probably half of them ended up. Some of them happen, some don't. But I guess I would have asked who you would have been after, and satisfied that South was going to slide past you, because then I messaged Gurin. And
he literally messaged everyone.
He went down the list.
I went down the list
one by one. Go down the list.
I didn't send Gurin an offer, because I was like, at this point, he was starting to slide in my mind, and so I was like, oh, Gurin, who are you after? You know, like, I can't take him. You're before me. And he's like, oh, we probably need a starting pitcher. So I was like, cool, that's not South. and then I was like, there's Mounties, and then like there's only 2 picks before us, and I love Guitar Master, who is still on the board at this point, and I love Myth, who is still on the board at this point, and South. So I was like, I as much as I was just desperate to get South, I didn't know if there was the value to trade up what like Mounties would make me pay that to get that. So I was like, I'll just sit here and we'll see what happens. And then South fell, and then best day ever. Anyway,
we did. I did consider South at 6 when we traded for that pick. But I thought we kind of needed the shortstop position, middle infielder, a little bit more from a positional standpoint. But
that would have killed me.
But South was really high on my board. Like he was just sitting there, like right at the top. And in the end, it was just really team construct that got nothing to do with the users by that time. It just yeah.
I think one thing that I just made me had to do it is over in the ISFL, I've been updating his team this season. And like, I think the first player I updated, like right back at the start, was literally been inactive for 2 seasons and then claimed like 100 TPE. And it was like, he just has a knack for just getting inactives back and playing again. And I was like, just the user side, like even if he didn't have a player, I would have drafted him here for the user side. That was just, I had to do it. And LBG put up with me, and I'm still a GM after like 3 days of.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks for coming on, Simo, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't think I sent in notes for our other pick, but I'll probably just DM you for those, because it's probably a bit away and the kids are starting.
Yeah, that's fine. Just DM me. I'll add it too. So.
Yep.
Cool, man.
Right. Sounds good. Catch
later.
Yep.
All right. So.
Right. Moving on.
Yeah. So the next pick is going to go to the Louisville Lemurs, the 8th overall selection, and they are going to select Andrew Andy Myth. Is it Mithindra? How do you say his name?
Myth,
Mithrandir? Myth.
Myth I, the funny thing, I never had to like say it
I
out
always just say
loud, so like
myth
I
too. So
never, yeah, it's myth. So
uh,
that's why I know it. It's, um,
cool.
but yeah, I don't have any notes from Louisville.
I do.
But this is.
Davey just
Oh,
sent
you
me a
do?
note. Yeah,
Oh,
Davey
oh,
just sent
nice.
me some.
Okay.
So Davey says Myth is a user we've been really wanting from the start. He was excited about our branding reveal and eager to be a lemur. He's super involved in ISFL as well as somebody who GM'd in both Tijuana and New Orleans. His previous player, Randy Myth, is a minors legend. So we have full confidence in Andy, and I would agree. I think Myth's a great user. He's awesome. I've known him in Tijuana for a while. I've worked with him, in ISFL stuff, and I think he's just always been super positive, really good, good
Mhm.
person to have around. So
Yeah, like he seems like a really cool guy. Like from the little that I've spoken to him, just from the amount of stuff that he has actually done in the past week. I remember when he first when he checked his bank account like 2 weeks ago, he was at like negative 5 million or whatever it was, and he's well over. He's well into the positive now
oh yeah,
from some of the stuff he's done. So it's really cool to see, and uh, it's great to see that he came back and I am happy that Randy Myth actually had a really good last season too. So hopefully, Andrew Myth will have you know more success than that, and be able to have a good long career.
yeah, agreed. Cool. Yeah, so let's go on to the ninth pick. And the ninth pick in the minor season 24 draft, the Chicago Kingpins are up, and they're going to select Jarrett Goffard, um, Calvin Galladay, center fielder. So I don't know much about the user. I've seen them around more and more in the last couple days. They seem pretty great. Center fielder, and you probably know more scouting and whatnot with as a GM.
Yeah, we had a pretty good conversation with Calvin when we first started. He's from the ISFL, and seems like a great guy, and he was on our target for early second round. At Hepcats we had a bunch of seconds, and we knew that if he fell, we were going to grab him, but obviously didn't really happen. Uh, so this is the note. Hang on one second. This is the note from the Kingpins from Muzi, I believe that's yeah. Uh, we didn't have a ton of holes to fill, but outfield was one. We got an amazing user this far down in the first round and couldn't be happier. A user from the ISFL, which I am also from. We're on rival teams, so hopefully we can set aside to power a World Series win this season. Galladay has done a lot of media and is super active in Discord, so he will certainly be a great presence in the clubhouse, and I do agree. So, um, 22 posts since he joined. He's the streak architect, and already got 9 mil, close to 10 mil in the bank, and so congratulations,
Yeah,
Gofford,
congrats, Galladay.
Galladay. Yeah.
All right. So now we have I don't even want to say their name.
The Dillos.
It, it's just that chat's gonna blow up in a second. Yeah. So we have the Dillos
we have no
on
choice.
on
So
the board. Yeah. So the the championship Dillos. Let's just
oh
double down on it.
oh goodness, might as well just go all in.
Are on the
Say
board.
one.
All right. And with the 10th selection, the championship Dillos select Adam Malott, Guitar Master 116. Yeah, GM, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. GM has been incredibly active in the rookie chat. Like I really appreciate everybody for just being active and just engaging with everybody in the rookie chat. By the way, it's
Seems like a great
I
class
know
this year.
Yeah, and that was something that I really noticed when everybody first joined. It was just everybody just wanted to be there and wasn't shy to ask questions and really just a really friendly group, and that's really all I can ask for, because everybody's just very welcoming to other new people, and that is really awesome to see. And this is the note from uh, LGM. Uh, Very cliche to say this, but I was stunned that he fell all the way to the 10th overall, all the way 10th overall. I thought there was a very good chance he could have gone first overall. A GM of the Luca, I'm the Luchadores,
Luchadores.
is that Luchadores?
Luchadores.
Okay, because I okay, yeah. I apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. In the ISFL, has been extremely active in rookie Discord and had good scouting answers. So congratulations. I think it will be a great fit for the Delos. Yeah, very good pick. So
Yeah, I love Jim. Another great person. Got to know him really well when I was actually a rookie with him in Tijuana. Really good pick, super active, nice guy. Seems to want to help everyone. So I think this is going to be a good pick for them, and I think he's going to fit in really well with the Dillos. So solid pick. I think the user going to a spot he's going to enjoy, and that's always a plus.
okay. Before we continue, I actually do want to mention that we had a few people that created after our draft deadline, so they didn't really make it into the draft, and they went as part of the waiver system, which actually for these users they got snatched up already. So they made it onto teams, and I just want to make sure that if they are watching at all, that they know where they went to, and they will also get an invite from the GMs. Uh, I realize I have not been inviting anybody yet because I've been on this stream. So any Hepcats out there, I apologize. I'll get an invite to you guys as soon as possible. But for the waivers, first we have Cantaloupe Crocodile, which the user is Frostbite. Frost is a two-time Hepcat with his last two players, but this time he will be going to the Lemurs. Uh, uh, his last player is Watermelon Warris, who just retired, and he recreated as a starting pitcher. Cantaloupe Crocodile. So that's the first waiver. The second person is Jacob Sosa. He is if I'm not mistaken, a second baseman, and the username on the forum is TGM Sosa, and on Discord is Jakey. I think it's Jakey. That would make sense. And he will be, they'll be going to the Bears. And the third the third player is Defense. Is a catcher, and the username is also Defense. And they will also be going to the Bears. So congratulations! They the three the two the three players will be going to the expansion team, so you guys would definitely get playing time. That no doubt about that in the position that you guys want to play in. So congratulations. Uh,
Yeah,
and then
congrats to the
mhm.
waiver guys. Like that's always a it's always a funny situation when you're in the minors and you're like, oh, we start the draft early and people are still creating. So
Well, yeah. Well, that's the case. We had a hard deadline, so even if we started early, it didn't matter. Those
right.
people that created while we're still drafting would have went into the draft. There's a chance that we take that we won't get them first overall or something like that. But for the most part, for this season, we didn't make it that far in before the deadline actually hit.
No,
So
I know.
so it's
Yeah,
not like
I was watching her along. So yeah, I think this draft was really good. But all right. So those are the waiver guys. Congrats to everyone drafted in the first round as well. I think we have some really great users going to some really good teams, and let's continue with the second round. We ready for the second round?
let's go.
So Louisville's going to start off with the 11th selection, and with the 11th selection, the Louisville Lemurs are going to take Joe Warner, Diag. So congrats to Diag. And then
Yeah, I've he's been around for a while, and his last player is it is Dustin Collins? Dustin Collins?
Yeah, Dusty
Yeah.
Collins. Yeah, something like that.
Dusty Collins, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he was a starting pitcher for a while and ended up in the pen for DVS in the last few seasons. Just had like phenomenal seasons in the pen.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to retire and be part of this class. And he's created a starting pitcher once again, a lefty junk bowler
Yeah.
starter.
And also, if you know Diag and your Davey and them, I think this makes sense. I think this is a good fit for them. They're both in the PBE online, and I know they've talked and stuff. So I think it's a smart pick. And I do have some notes from Davey. So he says Diag is one of my favorite sim leaguers to talk to through PBO, which is the PBE online. We've had a lot of cool interactions, and we can't wait to have Warner in our rotation. His player is named after Joe Namath and Kurt Warner. Hard to beat that type of pedigree. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that until I read it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's
Alright.
cool. So congratulations, Diag. You're going to be a part of the upcoming Lemurs. And then we go to the 12th pick, which is your pick again. So would
Yeah,
you like to
so
talk about it, sir?
sure. Yeah, so the 12th pick of the draft, the Hepcats select Santana Cruz. The user, the foreign name is the Cattle Baron. Well, on Discord he is Boom, trademark, and he. Ooh, that's a nice render. I love the blue on that hat.
It looks it looks really good.
The blue on the batting helmet is
Yeah, it
incredible.
looks really
Wow.
good.
Wow. Okay. Oh. I got to stop admiring that for a second. But Cruz is a third baseman from Cuba, Havana, Cuba. I had pretty good chats with Cruz, and what really impressed me was his ability to create graphics. And I know that he obviously prefers that over anything. But he's been very
Oh, he's a
active in the
graphics guy?
rookie. He's a graphics guy.
Nice.
And for, and what was gonna say? He's been also just incredibly active on the rookie chat as well. He had a player, and it escapes me right now. He had a player here before, way back in like season 2 or whatever it is.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I cannot, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who the player is right now. So I apologize. But so that was a long time ago. But I'm very glad that he did recreate, and just we needed a third baseman to fill the void of Sam Andrews, and so we were targeting a third baseman here, and we're very glad that we're able to grab Cruz here.
Yeah, just joining the rookie chat this morning to set up the stream and everything. I saw him talking quite a bit, and seems like a good user. Like I feel like I've been saying that a lot because I mean, all the rookies
They're
seem pretty great. So
yeah, Beaver. I do think it's Colton Hunter. Yeah, I do think that's Colton Hunter if my memory serves me correctly.
sweet. So we're gonna move on to the 13th pick for the Swift Steeds. And with the 13th pick, the Swifties will select Jimmy Polka Dots Blammo, Maniac Map. Okay, this makes sense. Um, Manic is a
This is a
great.
really good pick here.
Yeah,
This is a great pick here.
I cannot believe that Manic fell to the 13.
The only reason I passed on him was because I thought I could get a first baseman later.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the
it makes
only
sense.
reason.
But I mean, Manic he used to be the GM of San Antonio. This is a great user, good dude. Um, super solid pick here for the Swifties. I cannot believe they actually stole him at 13. I'll go ahead and say that. Um, but yeah, so we have some notes here. Jimmy Blamo. The theme for all our picks was letting the draft come to us and take whoever fell further than they should have. It definitely hurt trading back from 6, but the top of this class was so deep and getting two high quality actives instead of one made too much sense not to. We couldn't believe how well it worked out when we were able to draft Manic at 12th. A universally liked user with a Hall of Fame player who maintained a high level of activity consistently across multiple leagues for several real life years. God, this sorry, and who is also a Swifties legend. Manic could have easily been a top 5 pick. I actually completely agree. This is a stack draft. If Manic can fall
This
to
is
12,
it was
13,
very stacked at the
yeah,
top,
yeah,
and I had Mav at like third on the board for a while, and I only moved people back not because of the user, really because of the position. Like I needed other positions more, and if it was just whatever, I would have just grabbed him at third and just call it a day,
yeah. I
And
mean,
but yeah.
that's the thing. Like, it's hard because first base,
Hmm.
traditionally it's a position that's not as important as some of the others, but also,
Hmm.
it's a good user. So I think he's going to have a good spot in the Swifties, and I think that it's going to go well. But
Definitely.
also, I can't see not picking anyone else in the top 11 or 12,
I
like,
no idea. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You couldn't. There's no way they would have gotten this like further down. And the way I was looking at it, he was the best one left on the board by
yeah,
far. And no offense to anybody else, just if you had a Hall of Fame player prior, and a second player which really had do remember while wasn't Hall of Fame, like it had a decent career. It wasn't like it wasn't like it was a bad player by any stretch of the imagination. So.
no, completely agreed. Cool. So congrats to Manic. That's awesome. Beebs, I don't listen to anything you say. You should know that. We're going to go with the 14th pick for the Anchorage Wheelers, and they are going to select Armando Velazquez, Gustav Matthias, starting pitcher. I actually thought that this was a great pick. I know in the Dallas War Room we had Gustav real high, um, especially for a starting pitcher. I think they probably got someone who's going to be 1-2 in their rotation for a couple seasons in the second round, and that's always great.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, I thought it was a good pick. I thought he'll go first because of uh, especially because he's a pitcher, more or less. I had, I know the person who brought them in was Glowy Goat, who's on the Hepcats, and he and um like they were saying good things about Gustav, and we had him on the board, and thought that if he slipped to the second round somewhere, we probably would have. It was hard to pass up that pitching when we grabbed Cruz. It was just kind of it was kind of a toss up at that point. It's just like, well, you know should we load up on that fourth pitcher, fourth starter, or do we need third baseman or something like that? But this is a good pick for the Wheelers, and I think he'll have a fine career there.
yeah, Garen is asking me to read his note. So his note says
Oh,
Gustav is a pick. We're excited to get where we did. We was fully expecting him to be gone in the second round. I completely agree. I, I
mhm.
we were talking in the Dallas locker room when we saw him in the second. Like, can we get up? Can we get up there? Is there any way we can get into the second to take this guy? So,
Uh,
um,
oh, that's why Simo. Oh, that's why Simo messaged me that it's like, oh no. LBG messaged me on that one. They're trying to grab when 12 came when 12 came around. They want it was actually, I'm not going to talk too much about it. We thought I was very tempted to
there's a
trade 12 to them,
few there's a few other things that I'll talk about when we get
but
to it. There's some other
okay.
nuances here. But yeah, so the 15th pick is you guys. So if you want to go
So
ahead and
yeah,
announce your 15th, we can.
so yeah, so at number 15, the Kansas City Hepcats select Chipper Slokinen. The username forum username is Darkling. Infamous Minute is his Discord, and I had just incredible conversations with Chipper here, or Darkling, and or Darthling. Oh, they spelled his thing wrong. I think it's not Darkling, it's Darthling. Okay, but uh, he seemed very just uber excited about his player. He's a Braves fan, if you can't tell. His render is Chipper Jones, and his third baseman, switch hitting, and so forth. But we thought that he had great potential and just would have a good locker room presence, and we couldn't really pass him up here. So welcome to the Hepcats. So really, really, really happy to have you on the squad.
Yeah, don't know much about the user, but you summed it up pretty good in chat now. So always good to congratulations. Always good to have someone who gets drafted, in chat and active and talking.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of these things you may not see sometimes, and really, this is why I like to talk to the new people and really get a sense of who they are and what they can
Oh,
or
definitely,
you can do. So
definitely. I think that's the humanistic part of PBE is cool. So I think that helps a lot, and it's one of the things that makes the league so interesting. So um, cool. Let's go ahead and announce the 16th pick for the Swift Steeds. They are going to select John Smoltz the third, the Danger Zone.
we have two Smolts in this draft. It's awesome. I just it's
Yeah. So TDZ is awesome. I've known TDZ for so long. I think almost 2.5 years now, through other leagues and through other things. It's a great user. I know he's had his in and outs with PBE before, but he's always pretty solid. He works. He does the other things. I think it's a great pick for the Swift Steeds. State College, I think, got a good one here. It is funny that we have
definitely.
two Smoltz names, which is always fun. They do have some notes here. They say TDZ is another user with a history of activity and Hall of Fame player. He didn't really enjoy his last player and went inactive, which may be why he fell so far, but we're happy to snap him up as he returns to his roots as a reliever. I agree. Um, I was really big on TDZ. Again, though, having
Mm-hmm.
a personal friendship with him, that's always like one of those things. Like, if we can get this guy, like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I only had the pleasure of being teammates with him for one season. I think New York traded for him for one season or maybe two. I don't know. It was a short while back.
Yeah,
So
TDZ is actually so SHL. TDZ is like one of the first people that like kind of got me indoctrinated, as I say in quotes, in SHL. So uh, big props to him and great user, good dude. Hopefully he enjoys this player and sticks around.
definitely, guess we could move on to number 17.
Okay, so number 17, Chicago has their second pick. So with the 17th pick, the Chicago Kingpins select Brewstar Lemonade. Be due. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Congrats, Yosh. I'm gonna try and contain my angst for this pick because I wanted everything in my being to pick this guy. Uh, Badu is an amazing user. He's an amazing person. Um, and so jealous that Chicago gets to spend more time with the big Yosh and vibe with him. He's a great dude. Uh, yeah,
I they created like right at the end. Well, we had to extend the deadline because J-Sync was down. For when the original deadline came about.
hmm
And so we extended it a little bit more, but we're still picking. Actually, I think I held up the draft because I went to bed at like
I
midnight,
think so.
and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not picking till tomorrow, and and I didn't really get a chance to talk to them that much because really right after they selected, the Kingpins were pretty much up at that time, and off they went off the board. And but I did tell them that I love the player name. It's just awesome.
Yeah. So
It's just an awesome player
so
name.
so Badu has been on my SMJHL team. I drafted him a couple 8 months ago, and he's been nothing but incredible. So super great pick. He created late, swooped in. This was one of the reasons that we were messaging people in the 15-16 round, because I was like, I need to get up to get this dude. But good for him. He's going to my other home, so I'm not that mad about it. I love
Woozy
Big Yosh.
has a note, so just
Oh yeah, sorry. I'll read the note. So Lemonade, my boy. Yeah, I know. So many times have I hounded this user to join another sim league, and he finally did. We traded up with Bruce City for this pick, and it didn't cost us too much to do since they had to take their GM this round. Brucey is another awesome user, has sim league experience from SHL. I was begging the War Room to let me take them as soon as he was approved. A solid pen piece to pair with the already amazing bullpen arms. Couldn't be happier, especially when we sniped by trading up. Let's go, Big Yosh. Yeah, I feel the same.
Dag is calling you a traitor.
I know he is. I know he is.
Hey Dag, it's your fault. You didn't trade up to get SD.
Yeah,
You know, you
that's your
still trade
fault.
up.
Yeah.
That's your fault. So it's your fault. Okay, we're gonna move
We're
on,
gonna start beef in this
and
chat.
it'll be it'll be the Swifties again. I
Guess it is
think
Dag.
this was the original.
Okay, so the Swifties for the 18th pick, they are going to select Cap Keeler, Bob 124, starting pitcher.
Yeah, Cap joined. It's part of the joined right at the new deadline, and they have been really just uh, they, like you could see them all over the rookie chat since they joined, and uh just from everything I can gather, just seems like a great person, and just a cool person to talk to. And This is the note from the Swifties. Keeler created during the draft and came in with a burst of activity that he has maintained since. A likely first round pick in most drafts and a player with a good chance of to significantly improve his draft position between now and the majors draft. We're stoked to pick up such a active starting pitcher in the end of the second round.
Sorry. Continue.
Oh, okay.
I hit the wheel on my mouse and things went crazy for a second.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's all I really have.
Yeah, I will
Like I said, I didn't really get a chance to scout them just because again by this
created,
time they
yeah.
created and already got drafted, and it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh, I didn't really know him, and I was like, Bob 124, I don't know at all, and then like, oh, Cap, oh, Cap at Discord. Yep. Seems like a really solid selection here. It's been really super talkative, really nice. Had a couple conversations with him this morning. Good job, like, awesome. All right, so congratulations to Cat. I know he's happy. I can see him chatting right now in the rookie Discord. We're going to go ahead and announce the 19th pick for Brew City. This is going to be the biggest bust of this draft. I already know it.
I agree.
So we're going to go ahead and announce the biggest bust of the minors draft, and that is Booze Goozer and username Jabs. So if people don't know anything about this user, his first picture was garbage. Um, Nobody liked him. He was not my teammate for about 10 seasons and not one of my better friends on here. So
Yeah, he wasn't my teammate either. No.
not
Even though his tenure on the Voyagers like amounted to like a grand total of like 3 weeks, but but somehow he's been like one of the best teammates I've ever had in my life.
Jabs is like the coolest dude you could ever talk to.
He really is. He really is.
So like Jabs and I talk about beer and stuff and baseball and pretty much anything all the time, and he's a good dude. I'm so happy that he's a GM. He's going to be an amazing minor league GM.
I do think so.
I mean,
Yes,
he's been one already, but have his own team, I guess.
Oh yeah, I think they would do like, like I think anybody who lands on any of the teams would be great, but especially on the Bears, and because I think Jabs and Danny will really guide them and really give them a wonderful place to feel at home here in PBE, and that's something that's something that you really look forward to,
Yeah.
for anybody who's new. But there's a note from Danny.
Oh,
A lefty flame throwing reliever that is going to notch saves and hose from the Bears bullpen for years to come. So exciting.
ah, what a note.
What a note. Oh my goodness. Oh, the
Jabs,
praises from Danny. Oh.
Jabs, I'm going to say one thing because I see you in chat. I owe you beer and you owe me beer, so let's do that soon. All right, and we're going to move on. So then we have the 20th pick, which we're just going to gloss over real quick because it's those Dillos again.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, so with the 20th pick of the 24 draft, the Armadillos are going to select Sacco the Taco, which I love this render. Dead Lunatic is a great unit, but I love this render. I
I
love
actually
it.
didn't see that before, but this is awesome.
I think this might win render of the year. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't really care.
By the way, all these by the way, all these renders will be available a little bit later on. I'll double check with the graphics team, but they normally package them up so you guys can get them. Don't so you guys could yeah. But this is pretty
It's
incredible.
pretty great. Yeah, so we have Sacco the Taco, Dead Lunatics create. Um, we have some notes here. We have Sacco the Taco, also an ISLV user who's been max earning over there since joining. Has talked a lot more there since the draft concluded, but seemed to have fell due to not being crazily active yet. His scouting answers just signified why this was, and we're confident he'll be a max earner over here. So
Yeah, I think this is an incredible pick here. Just I don't know how at 20 if you could pick you could grab a user like that.
yeah,
We were looking at Taco at uh we would have been like a few picks late, but I had him on the board. It's like, okay, we need a right fielder. We definitely want to get that, and then this happened. It's like, okay, never mind. That's off the board. And yeah, it's a great pick for the Dillos, and uh just considering that they had the 10th and the 20th pick, I think they
I
did
think they did really good.
really well so
Yeah,
up to this point.
I mean, I understand why Dead Lunatic fell. He's definitely not as active on PBE, but
Hmm.
I don't think that should discredit how good of a user he is and can be. So
Hmm.
I think it's a really good pick, and his render is just incredible. So man, that right there for me is a win. All right, and we're gonna move to the third round, and we go back to those Brew City Bear guys. Um, and they're going to pick the 21st overall, and we're going to go ahead and they're announce that they select Bill Bumbles, starting pitcher from Halifax, and his username is Cryptic.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
spoke
much
of him
about
a
him, but
little
yeah,
bit. Hmm. I spoke of him a bit when he was creating, and he seems like he was very interested, uh and just I had pretty good conversations with him, and we had him a little bit higher on the board too. We thought about grabbing them at whatever the teen picks that we had, but yeah, I think again, obviously, the Bears and Lemurs, they need everything right now, and with any active pitchers, you got to grab them off the board now.
yeah.
Definitely, it would be silly to pass that up. Yeah.
So some notes here is that we had talked a couple times ahead of the draft coming into the PBE with OOT experience and a love of sports. We're hopeful Cryptic will be an asset on the field with his player in our clubhouse with his knowledge of the game and engine. So it sounds like he has some OOT knowledge, OTP knowledge, and he definitely knows the game. So it's definitely one of those things like you get some users who are a little bit more reserved or not as gung ho, but can be great locker room assets. I know when I was in Florida, we drafted a couple people that were just really good people who just stuck in the locker room. So I think that's what Jabs is trying to do here and get a user that, might not be the most seen person, but it's going to be a solid behind the scenes pick for him. And I think that's smart.
I agree. I agree. Okay,
All right.
moving on.
So now we're going to go to pick 22, which is my team, the Dallas Dynamos. And we are going to select DVS relief pitcher Smitty. And I have to be honest with you, this pick was funny to me because just his name is just hilarious. Um, I think Smitty's a good dude. He's created a bunch of people. He's not super into sim leagues or active in sim leagues, but I think like he likes PBE and we can keep him around, and I think Smitty's going to be great. So
Future Apex.
yeah, and I know Simo gave me a note. He said that with the drafts last season being fairly lucky in call-ups for the most part, we didn't have a whole heap of gaps in the lineup. One was relief pitcher we wanted to address, and Smitty was our guy. After the first round, we got together a list of pitchers we'd be happy with because we would have to trade up to get one. We were watching for a bit, and then we had the right spot to trade up and add Smitty to our team to plug that gap. I've been talking to him a bit lately and always enjoyed chats. I'm excited to bring them to Dallas. And I agree. I think that Smitty's a good pick here as a relief pitcher, as someone who's going to kind of shore up the back end of our bullpen. We'll have him for a couple seasons, and he'll be able to earn and add to it. And it's always good bringing a veteran into a locker room too, especially one in the league. So I think Smitty's going to be a good pickup here.
I agree.
Cool. We're going to go ahead, and you have back-to-backs here.
Ooh,
So
back to
I'm
back.
going to let you figure out how you want to do this. So you have the
We'll
floor, my
just
man.
go. Okay, well, at pick number 23, we have relief pitcher Barney Turbo.
Oh, this is such a good pick.
Oh, they didn't use. Oh, they missed it. Oh, I am sorry, Barney. They had some. I'm sure they were running wild at the end, getting these. I know I know they submitted a render, and unfortunately that was not used, um, because the render should have been Barney the dinosaur. That would have been awesome.
That would have been
But
hilarious. But you have
that
a
would have been a
graphics person now, so I guess you have to make them one.
well. I have I have something for them when they get in there, right? But anyways, what was I gonna say? We were af- before these picks, we were talking we were talking about, where do we want to go. We really didn't have too many holes left. We did want to fill an outfield spot, but felt that I felt that what we were lacking over the past couple of seasons really was active bullpen guys. Um, like they don't last draft had like 3 relievers create, so that and I ran with a inactive bullpen the entire season, and I'm actually losing some of them due to the minors limit, and so we need to kind of replenish that, and at 23 and 24, this is a perfect time to do so. Mike, when they first joined, I basically just had Mike just go find out all you can about them, and Mike loved this conversation with Barney, um, and I chatted with him a little bit too afterwards, so it seemed like a really good person, and just an awesome addition to the locker room. So welcome, Barney. Really glad to have you on the team. And then we will move on to pick number 24, and staying with my reliever theme, we uh, the Kansas City Hepcats select straight gas homie at number 24. The user is BW3. Uh, And BW, I know him a little bit from the Voyager locker room, as he was around on the team way before my day, and his last player is Crowbar Theeks of 66ers and Kingpins fame. I, unfortunately, he did go IA at the end, for probably due to some real life stuff. And in my short conversation with him, uh, he definitely would, want to try to be active with this reliever. And but at the, and I thought that he was probably the best pick that anyone could have had at 24 right now. But uh, and then yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
And you got anything?
I will say BW3 is was one of the people who I was huge on when I was a GM in Florida when he had Weldon Borthwell, and this if he stays active and does things, this is a straight robbery at 24, because this dude, he's a good user, he's a good dude, and I think that there's nothing but great things that could happen. It's a
Hmm.
no risk pick at 24 for someone who has amazing upside. So I think that's a smart
Yeah.
pick there.
Hmm.
All right.
And then yeah, moving on.
So then we have the 25th pick for the Brew City Bears, and they're going to go ahead and select Buddy Cheeks, Memes and Trees, who has been all over chat. And is that Rivers Cuomo as his
Yes.
render? That is amazing. That's great. Um, so yeah, so Buddy Theeks goes here. Congratulations to him, or Buddy Cheeks. I don't know why I said Theeks. To Brew City, um, and yeah, this is a good pick. He's definitely been a lot more active lately, and as you can see, he's in chat. So at 25, I think this could be this could be a great addition to Jabs' team. And I do
I
have
agree. Yeah.
some notes. We were thrilled to be able to pick up Memes Recreate at 25. I didn't know he was a Recreate, but interesting. We had great scouting conversation and ended up with Memes sending me a scouting questionnaire. Memes and Trees has a great sense of humor. Has always been super active in Risky. It has been super active on Rookie Discord. We picked them up. Last I heard, from Memes, I was being considered for the draft. Hopefully, they pick me up too. I don't know what that means. That is a tangle of words, but there we're at. It was literally a tangle of words. I don't understand what
I
that.
probably should have read some of these, but
That's fine.
whatever. That's fine.
So, congratulations to Memes. I see you're in the chat. So, prove everyone that you were worth more than the 25. Yeah, man. Do it.
Do it. Okay. And we can move on to 26.
And we're at 26. So the Swift Steeds are back up at 26, and they are going to select Mike Hussey. I don't know how to pronounce his username. Baroka, I think.
Baraka?
Yeah. So he's a shortstop out of Brisbane, Australia, and this is a pretty great render as well.
Mm.
So yeah, with this pick, I don't know much about Mike Hussey, but they seem to be pretty big on him. A couple notes that we have is as this pick approached, we were not sure if we would have a shot at an active player, but our luck continued. Baraka, I don't know, whatever, was somehow still on the board. His first player had a great run with the Wheelers, and knowing Baraka from a hockey GM league we are in, hopefully Hussey will be even more successful. Considering this draft class had only 35 players, we're incredibly happy to pick up 4 actives without expending future draft capital, which we considered. I think that goes back into us saying how heavy of actives this draft class was. Which you can get someone with very little users in this. You can get someone active at 26, 25, 26, 20. Like this is it's crazy how good this class actually is turning out to be for such a
It's
small
actually
class.
turning. Yeah, it turned out like, especially towards the end, we weren't sure when the class first began, and it just kind of got deeper and deeper. And that's actually some of the trades never actually happened because as time went on, like people were like, oh no, I'm holding on to some of these later picks
There's
because
an active here. I'm going to take them.
and there's active. It's just like, oh, there's something there. I'm not going to trade up, anymore. So and I never got a chance to kind of trade back in either because it was just never going to happen with people. But yeah, Chess, you're right. They had a user they had a player before, and I can't for the life of me remember it off the top of my head who what the player name was, but because I know I've seen them in Discord before. But happy that anybody comes back and give it a shot again. I think from I had Eldorian got them a little bit, and when they when they created or recreate it, and it was just last time they don't have that much knowledge of baseball, and I think that sometimes takes the fun out of it because it just you don't know what you're doing. But I know for other people that but they want to spend the time to learn about it again. And but I think we have a great community for that. I know for a fact there are a bunch of people in the league that knows that zilch about baseball, but they love it being here. And that's awesome to see. And so best of luck in Anchorage and Shipyard. Oh, not Anchorage. In Swifties.
State
That should
College.
be a fun place. Yeah, State College. It'd be a fun place to be.
Cool. And plus, I mean, Beaver's great. Should not have said that out loud.
It's too late.
Anyways,
You can't take it back.
Yeah.
It's recorded.
So we'll go on to the 27th pick for the Louisville Lemurs. Oh, shut up, Beaver. They're going to go ahead and they're going to select Ronaldinho. Muff Beatsy's Crit Feinstein. Wow, that is a username. If I've ever seen
The
one.
Discord is just Muff, I think.
That makes more sense. So I got some notes here. Davey sent me something, so let me pull that up. He said, Ronaldinho. We were surprised to see Ronaldinho fall this far into the draft. We're happy with the selection. The user behind the player Muff Beats by Crit Feinstein. Oh my God. By Crit Feinstein. Is a familiar face in sim leagues, having been active in SBA. We're excited to have acquired two great outfielders through the draft. So another active user here late, which is crazy. But like I said, like we've said many of times, this draft is just that. So
the quality, in terms of what we can get, it's a small class, but the quality it's actually like incredible in what it turned out to be.
Cool. So that's that pick. Then we're gonna go to another Dillos pick with 28. With the 28th selection, the Dillos are gonna select Joel Roshi Pyro.
I'm on the wrong one. Yes. Joel Roshi?
Joel? Is it Joel?
I think
Yoel?
I would Yoel?
I think it's Yoel.
Yoel? Okay.
Oh, whatever.
I say J? Maybe you said J, and then I'm saying.
I think I said J, and I screwed that up.
J,
yeah.
Now I'm just following you.
Yeah, I think I screwed that one up. So Yoel Roshi, starting pitcher from Miami-Dade, username Pyro. Yeah, Dag, I got it. Yoel. And we have some notes here. So just joined the day before the draft started, so he didn't have to build much of a resume, which is why I'm guessing he fell so much. He's been really active in the rookie Discord in the past couple days. He seems really into the league. So
yeah, I think he's a Spanish speaker, and so English is not is native.
Fantastic.
So I know he just had he just posted his first, I guess I assume it's the rookie task for the 300 word media, and I know we asked about this in management to kind of allow them to do it in the native language, but I think it's great because people should, be able to, and we have the technology to translate over to make sure that it's not just gibberish.
I mean, yeah,
So
someone who speaks
yeah.
Spanish, I think that's fantastic. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and he just seems like a really nice guy, so I'm really happy that they joined. Unfortunately, they joined at the latter end of the draft, and that's if it was under any circumstances, I would think that, and not fighting with apparently like a deep class.
yeah,
They could have definitely gone higher, but this is it'll be interesting to see what happens in the majors draft. When this comes around again for this class.
cool. So then we're going to go to the next Kingpins pick. They have the 29th pick, and they are going to select Ariel Renato out of Cancun, username FNO. Again, not super familiar, but seems to be active again, which is crazy. Uh, not Notes is not a ton on the board. Then suddenly Dag remembers he knows a user from SHL. Finally, he knew someone who was able to get them on the team, which is a great slight at Dag. Sorry. We cheered a little in the war room as this was a big moment for my counterpart. Users quite active in SHL, so hopefully we can get them earning here. Should be a quality arm for us
I
for
mean,
seasons to come.
yeah, this late in the draft. I mean, if you get them active, just your normal stuff, especially for a reliever, it goes a long way. I mean, they don't need to max earn or anything,
Yeah.
as a relief arm, so this could be a very very good pick at 29.
Yeah, exactly. If they can get him active, if he's in SHL, Dag, you're in chat. What team's he on in SHL? Let's see if he'll answer me. Um, oh,
Anaheim.
really? I should know that. That's sad. Okay, cool. Then that's awesome. Good for you to know someone from Anaheim. That's cool. Um, oh God, I'm not taking the bait. Anyways, the 30th pick in round 3 goes back to that team that may have or may not have won the championship last season. I'm not really sure. They'll let me know if they did.
S23 does not count. We have Castos reigning champions.
All right. So with the 30th pick, the team that may or may not have won the championship, select Lucas Shapiro, second baseman from Rhode Island, username a Thrashers fan. So he's a Thrashers fan.
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to talk much. They weren't on Discord, but they have been doing stuff on the forum, and they did answer the questionnaire, and I if I recall correctly, uh they 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 found us through. I mean, I think they're an OOTP user, and um hopefully they'll join Discord, because obviously it makes things a lot easier. But I think you get it, even if they don't, you can have someone just active doing their tasks and so forth, and learning how to go through PBE at pick number 30. Uh, yeah,
Which is still
that'll be
great. Yeah.
still great. Yeah.
Cool. And we have a little bit of note here. Lucas Shapiro has been active on forums as much as a lot of other draftees, but doesn't seem to have a Discord, which is probably why he fell so much. I have faith that he'll earn a solid amount to be a good player with us. Cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. We're going to move on. We're going to go to the 4th round to the Kingston Mounties. With the 31st overall selection, the Kingston Mounties select Jacob Obermuller.
Obermuller.
Got it. Catcher, Phoenix, Arizona. Jober Obermuller is his J. Obermuller, I guess. Is probably what it is. This is username.
That would make sense.
That would make sense, except for besides the first thing that I said.
I think this is another one that kind of joined at the latter end of the draft, if I recall correctly. The only catcher in after like a billion catchers created like the last 2 seasons, and we only get one in this draft. So Actually, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, in the draft itself, there's the waiver catcher. But we do have a note here from Jimbo. Obermuller. Call-ups gave us a lot of hoes in defense. We know Jake is a catcher, first base, third base position. We may use them a bit in the field at the beginning. We spoke to them about it and was cool. But also serves as a solid replacement for when Wally gets called up in the majors and have some nice future proofing here to have us ready for the season to come. We like the build and they seem eager to start as and I'm sorry, they seem eager to start and has been chatting around a bit. So looks to be a good active pickup here late in draft. Work a little bit with them to get the strikeouts down, but it's all just part of the adjustment coming into the minors here. So, and
Oh,
the
they're in
build is
chat. Congratulations.
oh hey, congratulations. Hey, yeah, the build is a cannon build, and good arm, and I you know that's the cannon arc could be a very good catcher arc.
Yeah, Ken.
I know Christopher Brew has a cannon. Elliot Alderson, the cannon built. Yeah. So
Cool. So we're going to go to the 32nd pick. So the 32nd pick belongs to the Brew City Bears. They're going to go ahead and select Oil Can Boy Jr., starting pitcher out of Tampa. His username is Postnuts. So Postnuts, don't know much about, but the notes say after trading away Swifties legends Casey Tom in exchange for Dynamos legend Ruth Heater Ginsburg, we were in need of some room for another arm in the rotation. We liked what we saw in Postnuts with some rookie tasks under their belt and a couple updates posted. Hopeful that they can put the TPE to good use and be one of the staples in our rotation.
yeah, I remember when they joined. They haven't really been that active since in the Discord, but they have done some of the tasks, so that is always encouraging. So hopefully they will kind of resume and be a good contributor to the Bears. I mean, it's a good place to be.
Yep. Definitely agreed. All right, so the Dillos are going to have their last pick of the night, I believe, with the 33rd overall selection. They're going to go ahead and pick Kevin Scarborough, nicknamed Skip, starting pitcher from Providence, which is where the PBE is at. His username is Skipple. So Skipple is currently, I guess, inactive. So yeah, not much to say about them. Just adding some depth.
Yeah, they just some depth. They joined very early on at trade deadline, and I remember talking to them, and were saying that they were really excited to start the task, and then just unfortunately, when I followed up, I didn't hear anything back.
Well,
So
maybe they'll come back.
hopefully everything's okay, and maybe they'll come back. And
Cool. So we have the 34th pick from Anchorage. We're going with the Wheelers pick of Mario Fazio. Sorry, been doing this for a while and just seeing a pizza. I lost it. First baseman out of Kentucky. His username is Mr. Cheesy.
that's why they went to the pizza. Okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
now I've been told I don't know because I asked this the other day. Like, does he like cheese? And funny man Luke says no. So he does not. And this is Luke's brother, right? Is that correct? If my memory is not failing me terribly, but this is Luke's brother, and so he gets to be on the team where Luke is at. That's really cool.
Yeah, I lost it there for a second. I was not expecting a pizza. I'm gonna be honest.
That's a great pizza picture. Where did they find that? I'm gonna have to go look for that.
So let's see if we have any draft notes. Luke's brother, quite funny in chat,
Oh yeah,
excited to happen in the locker room. So pretty much what you said. So congratulations to Luke's brother. All right, and we're gonna move on to the next pick, which is the final pick, I believe, of this draft. It belongs to the Kingston Mounties. They're going to go ahead and select for the 35th pick overall. The last pick is Royd Walrus. This is a great render. Username Upper Met, relief pitcher, anabolic
That is
steroids at
incredible.
university. So, yeah. The notes are net. We saw him with the pick here. Didn't think we had any other choice since we need some depth in the bullpen, an active player, and a recreate. I didn't think we could pass up the pick here from the rookie showcase. He looks to be on fire. So we're going to go ahead and say there's Upper Net as the last pick.
My favorite pick in this draft was the moment SD Core picked to say I was great.
Beaver, I've regretted it ever since it came out of my mouth. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm never. I don't know if you know Beaver that well, but I'm never living that down. It's going to be
This is going
burned
on
into
its
the
sake
memory.
very soon. Oh,
Cool. I think that's it.
that is it.
That is
yes.
it. So thank you all for coming. Enoch, thank you for hosting with me. Thank you for dealing
No,
with my rocky start. We got there in the end.
No problem. We did get there, and thank you for taking your time today to host this. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
it.
actually glad I did it. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, congrats to everyone who got
No,
drafted. Let's go out there and have a really, really great season. Look for TARDIS's awards draft tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll get
did
into
he say
spring
what
training.
time yet? I didn't.
I think
Did he
he
say
said
what
it's
time?
going to be around 6,
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yeah.
6:30, something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll check the game day later. I wasn't sure if he
And
posted in
then
last
we
minute.
will look towards spring training and hope everyone has a great season
Yes.
and a great, I don't know, life or something. I'm not really sure.
Good luck, everybody. Have fun. Like if you guys have any questions, do hit up your GMs. The minors GMs are great and they're very responsive. And the rookie chat obviously always open for any questions. So please do ask because there is a lot to PBE. And I don't expect anybody to kind of figure it all out within a day. So don't feel like if you feel like you're lost or unsure of something, do ask because trust me, you're not the only one. So anyways, so
Cool.
good luck, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good one. Later, guys.